Thrilled to have such strong representation from our Atlanta Dream here today, so thank you. I think she said it was just about 6 weeks ago. It was in March that Lisa took over the leadership for the WNBA, and we're honored to have her speak here today as the league is kicking off its historic 20th season. So please welcome Lisa Borders.
Thank you, Lori. Appreciate that gracious introduction. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Really? I'm in Atlanta. It's great to be home. Thank you all for coming today. Let me first and foremost thank you for being here. You could be anywhere, and you chose to be here to hear about the WNBA, something that I'm very passionate about. But I want to introduce you to a couple of folks here because they are instrumental in running the franchise here. One of our owners is here, Mary Brock. Can you give her some love? Former player and legend, Rusha Brown. And my current players, Angel, Bria, Elizabeth from the Atlanta Dream. Give us some love. What I'd like to do is show you a couple of videos and then tell you a little bit about what is going to happen during the 20th season, but give you a little bit of history of the Dream and then where we're going with the league. Is that okay? Yeah. Better be okay, I got the mic. So Lynn, will you roll the videos, please?
20 years ago, I was just a little girl. I didn't know I'd average 20 points. Didn't know I'd have eyes in the back of my head.
I didn't know I'd grow to be 6'9".
I didn't know I'd be a football star.
Didn't know it'd be a nightmare on the wing.
But what I did know is if I could do what they did, I could be a pro. Watch me work.
I want to shout out everyone at the WNBA, all the women who laid the path when it all started.
Teresa Weatherspoon at the buzzer, a three! It's truly amazing to be able to see the growth of women's basketball.
They have a huge collection of talent that they put on display night in and night out.
You ladies have done so much for the game of basketball. We all appreciate you.
I'll never forget when the league first started. I know where I was, and I remember being down the street from my granddad's house watching the first game.
Welcome to Game 1 of the inaugural WNBA season.
It's an unbelievable game, and you guys continue to push the envelope and break barriers.
She got it! For the first time in WNBA history, somebody's...
You women are amazing. I'm a fan now. I was a fan then, and here's the 20 more years.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So I want to talk a little bit about the Dream, and then I'm going to talk about the league in general. So let me introduce you to two more people. When we thought about bringing a team here to Atlanta, you all might recall I was vice mayor of the city of Atlanta. And Mayor Franklin asked me to take a lunch with my predecessor, Donna Orender, who at that time was the president of the WNBA. Shirley was working on the budget, and she was working on all the issues we have around water and and sewer. You all remember that? Yeah. So Shirley says, will you take this meeting? I need to work on the budget. So I go to the meeting. Donna makes the presentation. I said, oh, that sounds lovely. We've got schools that would be good feeders. We've got good TV ratings. We've got an excellent market with demographics that show that people are moving into the city. We've got good capacity. We'll take one. I went back to City Hall. I said, Mayor, I told him we'd take a team. What the hell is wrong with you? I told you to take lunch, not a team. What she said was, I'm busy with the budget. You made that commitment, you worked that out. I was like, holy Christ, what am I going to do now? So, and what she also said, do not embarrass me and do not embarrass the city. So we get things done in Atlanta, right? Yeah. We put together a group of women. We called ourselves the Circle of Friends. There were 9 of us, different skill sets brought to the table, and 2 of the Circle of Friends are here. Danita Knight and Valerie Hartman. So I say that to say this. This is an incredible market. If you look at this slide that has my name on it, this is Phillips Arena. This is what we call a full house. And when you ask what success looks like in the WNBA, this is what it looks like. A full house in every arena, in every market. There are 12 teams in the WNBA. This is our 20th season, a remarkable achievement by any standard. Now, coming in this morning, I had a reporter say to me, aren't you concerned that the WNBA isn't further along like your NBA big brother? Why did he go there? Like, all right, let me just explain something to you. Our big brother supports us 1,000%. Our commissioner, Adam Silver, my colleague, is with us 2,000%. But let me be perfectly clear. The NBA is 70 years old. Are you with me? You know where I'm going, right? The WNBA is 20 years old. Let's take it out of the basketball vernacular for just a moment. If you take 2 people, one that's 20 and one that's 70, the richness of their lives is very different. True? Work with me, people. It's true. The richness of their lives are very different. We are both in the basketball business. We are both in the entertainment business. But they got 50 years on us. And if you look at 1966, which is when the NBA would have been 20, we are further along than our big brother was in 1966. We were on tape delay in 1982. Somebody should say amen. So the WNBA is frankly doing very well, but does that not mean we have a lot of work to do? Of course we do. We are very proud of our 12 teams, Atlanta first among equals. And yes, everybody always asks me, what is it like to go to a game and not cheer for Atlanta? It's really hard. So I have to sit on my hands because now I'm the president. I have to cheer for everyone. But yes, I still have my season tickets in Atlanta, and no, they are not for sale. Just want to be clear. So let's talk about the 20th season, because we're going to celebrate in some amazing ways. We had tip-off this weekend. On Saturday, I happened to be in Minnesota, where we had our reigning champions from 2015 open their season, the Minnesota Lynx, against the Phoenix Mercury. Let me just tell you that that game was on ESPN and drew an amazing audience. We had something we called the ring ceremony before the game began, which is where you hand out the rings to the championship team. I want to report that on Facebook, we had 250,000 people watch the ring ceremony. The same as are watching the finals of the NBA. Somebody should say it. It's incredible, right? Absolutely incredible. Doesn't mean we don't want fans. Who in here at the end of this presentation, I'm going to ask you who's going to buy a season ticket, so y'all just get ready.
Amen.
Because that's what this is all about. That's what this is all about. So we had people watching the ring ceremony, 250,000 plus. There were 641 posts. There were 38 million views. There were 2.3 actions, which means clicking through, and there were 4.7 million video views. Somebody's watching the WNBA. I will tell you that I am thrilled when I see those numbers. But the issue is sustaining those numbers and growing those numbers over time. So let's talk about 1996, when this league was envisioned. There's a video, and many of you perhaps have seen it, with this young woman. Her name was Lisa Leslie. You remember Lisa?
Oh, yeah.
Number 9 from the LA franchise. And yes, when she dunked, we all went crazy, right? And now Brittany Griner from Phoenix is 6'9", and she dunks, and we all go crazy. We have amazing players. You have terrific players here in this market. But this is 20 years of building stars, a constellation of extraordinary athleticism. 12 teams, 144 athletes, the best in the world, in the longest running league in the world. So the question came up this morning as well, what about the pay disparity? They don't make the same money as the men. Y'all need to buy some tickets. Right? This is all a part of it. This is fundamentally a business. At the end of the day, top line revenue is what's going to drive this league's success. It's not just putting more teams on the ground. It's driving top line revenue, like any business, anywhere, anytime. So we're going to do that. We're going to develop our players on and off the court. Many of you know about Angel McCautry. You all know about Angel? So Angel and I have this little relationship. Every time she goes up and down the court, I say, come on, leader, let's go. Right? Let's go, leader. Perennially shooting, prolific scorer, defense. She can jump out of the gym. She's in the Hall of Fame at the University of Louisville. These players deserve our respect and deserve our support. People ask me often, why did you take this job? You were at Coca-Cola, you were traveling the world, you were giving away money, you were supporting women. That's true. And it's an extraordinary company. I just reminded my good friend here, Maria Supporter, that my maternal grandfather worked at Coca-Cola for 30 years, from 1929 to 1959 as a chauffeur. My grandmother, his wife, worked there for 15 years as a maid. So I always wanted to work at Coca-Cola, and I had that privilege. I moved from the chauffeur seat to the executive suite in 2 generations. Everyone has not had the same opportunity and access to achieve their full potential. The WNBA is a platform for the 144 women to reach their dreams and their full potential. But let's be clear. Ernst & Young has done a study, and what it says is that women who play organized sports are more successful in business and in life. Boom! There's the empirical evidence that says this is a good thing. That this is a platform for not only women, but for the world. Women are assets. We have intellectual capital and physical prowess that should be added to the mix of every community. Amen. Women are more than half of the population in the United States. You know, if we all work together, women can make the world turn a different direction. I just want to point that out. Yes. So, with no disrespect to the men, because we all need each other to make the world go. The WNBA is a platform for these 144 women But they are beacons, they are icons, they are examples of what can be. So when little girls look up, as you saw in the Watch Me Work video, that is the video we unveiled in January to open the 20th season and our 20th year of existence. It is very clear that this new generation has known no other world except one that had a WNBA. I will be 59 years old this year. Do I want to look good? But I did not grow up with the WNBA. I did not. And so we want to ensure that every generation, not just the one we're in, but for generations to come, that this league endures. It endures. So we've got great coaches, Michael Cooper, Carlene, Wade, great coaches here in Atlanta. And we've got great coaches all across the league who are guaranteeing that our teams reach their full potential and that you are entertained every time you come to every arena. So what else will we be doing during the 20th season? We have special uniforms this year, no more white at home. ESPN says people don't like it when you wear white uniforms. Boring. So we're going to wear colored uniforms. Atlanta's got new uniforms. You want to come and see them. Adidas, our vendor for shoes, produced a special shoe for the 20th season. Spalding has introduced a special ball for this season with the 20th season logo. ESPN, who has been with us from the very beginning, has said they're going to broadcast more games this year than ever before, and they will broadcast every game in the postseason. Verizon has signed on as the marquee sponsor in all of our markets. Nike will become our vendor in 2018 for apparel. Are you feeling the momentum? Well, somebody say amen. So I am here to report that while we have achieved 20 years of success, and I'm going to call it that, because I believe in putting things in the universe that I want to come true. Right? Y'all are getting it, right? Yeah. We have achieved a 20-year milestone. But the expectation and the hope is that we will live to see another 120 years. Because that's the right thing to do. So we ask for your support. We ask for your suggestions. We ask for your engagement. That's all. It's a very simple ask. We take our players very seriously. We believe in their safety. Dr. Sharma, you would be proud to know that we are doing EKG. She's a cardiologist, bad girl. You would be proud to know we are doing EKGs on all of our players. And if we find something, they are undergoing a full echocardiogram panel. We believe in our players. We want to take care of them. They are the product on the floor. Without the players, you got nothing. You got absolute, you hear the players over there saying amen? Absolutely the truth. The league is in great shape, but we still need support. The commissioner, Adam Silver, and I, everybody asked me, did you play basketball? No, I did not play basketball. I cut my teeth at Duke University as an undergraduate watching the men's program. Go Blue. Love that program, but realized when I was having that conversation with Donna Orander that women did not have the same opportunity and access as the men. In Atlanta, we talk about the spirit of Atlanta and everybody having the opportunity to achieve and reach their full potential. So there was no better place to have a franchise than in the city. And Shirley Franklin is now a fan. That's a good thing, right? But that's not the only thing. So as we celebrate this 20th season, as we reach and support all of the teams across the league, I invite you to support your team here in Atlanta. There are more ways than ever to be able to see the games. It's called Phillips Arena right here in the city, or it's called ESPN, the multinational. You can, God made iPhones and stuff. You can stream it, right? And then we have something called League Pass that you can subscribe to. You can get a single game or you can subscribe for an entire season. So those that blaze the trail, the Lisa Leslies, the Rebecca Lobos, the Cheryl Swoops, those were the first 3 to see. Then we had Elena Deladon and Brittany and Skylar, the next 3 to see. And now we got 3 that came out of UConn that made history before they ever got drafted. Amen. The league is an awesome platform, not just for young women, but for young men to see strong women. It's an important thing for them each and every day. When we talk about having a woman president, we take that as such a big deal in this country. There have been women heads of state all over the world. And the United States consistently tries to tell other countries what to do with their governments. Do we have parity for women in this country? No, we do not. And it's not all about, again, exclusion. It's about inclusion. So women living out their dreams, this league doing well. We're in the basketball business. We are in the entertainment business. So that's what we seek to do each and every time that our players take the floor in every arena all across the country. I'm living out my dream. They pay me to go to basketball games. It's the coolest thing ever. And I keep threatening to work out with the players so I can lose some weight. But I haven't quite gotten there yet. It's a little scary to think I have to run up and down the floor with Angel. But we invite you. Try us. Come to a game. Subscribe to a game. It is often difficult for me to understand how folks can tell me or tell us at the league that they don't like the WNBA when they've never seen it. Would you do that for a restaurant? Would you do it for a soda pop or an ice cream? You would try it before you said you didn't like it. So we invite you to come to the arena, come to the game, buy tickets, support your teams. There are many ways to do that, as I have said. So let me stop there and open the floor for any questions that you all might have. Marina.
Do you see a day when women will actually play in the men's NBA?
Do I see a day? Well, let me repeat the question. Do I see a day when women will play in the men's NBA? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I do see a day when the league will have more than 12 teams, when we will be strong and be stable as we can possibly be, like any business. You want to make sure that everybody is financially sound and operationally stable. So for today, we are comfortable playing in our league. That makes sense.
Would that preclude the possibility of an Angel playing the Atlanta Hawks?
Well, the thing is, men's bodies are much different. So even if you took the strongest women and try to put in the NBA, it still wouldn't compete with their body structure. So that's why we have our own league, and beating up against each other is probably better.
Well said. Well said. Charles.
I read your interview on USA Today, where they had a whole page about the 20th anniversary. And you commented something I believe we've all talked about a lot when we have in Atlanta. There's a lot about gaining fans is feeling a personal relationship with the athlete.
That's right.
But the big problem we have in the WNBA is most of our talent goes away for the off-season for financial reasons. Do you see an eventual fix to that in any way?
So sure, let me answer.
When I say go away, for those who don't know, they go to play overseas where they make more money.
Right.
So they're supporting the league by being here during the season, but so it's financially it's.
So financially, our players are making decisions that are best for them and their families. So we support that, quite frankly. This is the most competitive league in the world. Part of the reason that they are so marketable in other countries is because they help hone their skills competing against one another. Back to Angel's point about competition. and it being the strongest and most strenuous in this league. So there's a value proposition here for the skills that you gain. But we have no problem with them going overseas. They're making good decisions for their families, right? The way to correct that over time is to drive the top line revenue. You can't have your expenses outpace your revenue. So to the extent that we have full arenas on a regular basis, we're playing 34 games, each team is playing 34 games every season. Maybe at some date we'll extend that. Who knows? That we don't want to conflict with what's going on overseas. So you have to be very careful shifting your time. I mean, when this league started, it very purposefully was put in the summer because we had venues that were available and we had time in the summer that was not being filled by other sports, right? There's baseball. But the point here is this. Do I see a day when we can compete on a salary basis? Of course I do. It requires a lot more work, but of course I do. We would love for all of our players to stay in market. Many of them do. Swin Cash stays in market. She plays for the Liberty. She's an analyst for the Knicks. She was just on the cover of Sports Illustrated, so she's modeling as well. Elena Deladon was in market last year. So was Skylar Diggins from the Dallas Wings. So we've got folks who do stay in market, but you're right. A lot of people, Angel goes to Turkey. It's Turkey, right?
Yes.
Almost every year he plays at Fenerbahce. So we understand that, and we don't resist it in any way.